Greetings, everyone, wherever you are on the planet, whatever time it is where you're at. This is our weekly WeAwake meditation. And most of the time, we're here with you. I'm here. But sometimes when we're doing other things, we just do the meditation without all the Dharma talks, as they would say. So, but I'm here today, and we're going to do a very interesting one today. This is Dawson Church's EcoMeditation. So if you don't know Dawson, he is he's a scientist, he's a philosopher, he's done all kinds of work on the brain, meditation, the results, but it's very interesting and approachable. It's not just dry scientific language, and I definitely recommend the books. They're really engaging and inspiring. So this is going to involve some tapping. Okay, so the meditation will guide us through this thing, and we'll just try to get it together and do it together. And what else? Oh, I wanted to say today, all these practices are effective as much as we do them. Okay, so if we're going to do transformational or healing or spiritual practices or whatever, working on your tennis serve or whatever you're trying to practice, playing the guitar, the piano, any instrument, it's the repetition that gets you there. And it is the repetition and the grit, which is a word for just being tough and stick-to-itiveness. And there's a book on grit, and it was done, I forget her name. Anyway, but she's a psychologist, a scientist, and she just did all these research and compared numbers. And to be successful in whatever field it is, whether it's inner development or being a PhD or a doctor or a musician or athlete, it is the quality of having grit and sticking to something with discipline that has a lot more to do than simply being gifted or intelligent. Because you can be really smart, you can be really gifted, but if you don't have the grit and the day-to-day stick-to-itiveness to whatever aspect of yourself you're working on, you won't get it. And there's so many examples that I've seen over the years. I'm interested in sports. I like, seeing humans function at the super high level. And but there's so many stories of probably young women too, but in the case I'm talking about young men who are very, very talented and very gifted in their particular thing, whether it's baseball or football. And probably I watch American football more than anything else. And they're recruited with all this hope, and they're going to be great. But psychologically, they don't have the mental discipline to stick with it and to keep improving and working on themselves. And they just rely on their natural ability. And there's also studies that show that young people who are prodigies, say when they're musical prodigies, let's say, or mathematical prodigies, anything, when they're young children, often don't really progress and do that work over a lifetime, okay? Because they're so used to getting praise and support and all this stuff for their great talents that they just don't grow. And it's those of us who know we're not that good naturally, that if we're going to even get up to that level of being good, we're going to have to put in practice, discipline, extra work. And in the beginning, that sounds like, sounds like a drag, and it can be because you're dragging your unmotivated self to do what you need to do. But as you develop the discipline, it gets easier, and it gets to be something you look forward to, and it's something that you just do. It's like you don't have to think about, oh, it's time to blink my eye. It's there, and practice becomes more just instilled in you, that discipline, and the discipline that you develop during the practice, in this case, doing the meditation, can also help you in different areas of your life. Like I've been very dedicated to working out and exercising for many, many years. I don't know how many decades now, but it's been a long time. And that discipline helped me in graduate school. That discipline helped me in the work that I do, getting ready for the podcast and everything, because I know if I have that stick-to-itiveness and just make myself get there and study and learn, I can do it. And I can get to a much higher level just by that act of will. And so that's my little thing for today. So we're going to get into Dawson churches. Let's see. How long is this meditation? It is 23 minutes and 24 seconds. And do you know what a brainwave it entrains to? Let me look here. Details. Let's see. Yeah, entrains to a deeper alpha frequency of 8 hertz. And also, it's important to mention, this technique was developed and has had a lot of success in dealing with trauma. Okay, people that were victims of war or had severe losses or accidents or anything, traumatized things, they use this technique, the tapping technique, to release trauma. So you can focus on that thing and let the music, the entrainment take you to that area that seems to, have caused you a lot of hurt, and that you're just becoming aware of, and you don't want to go there, or you realize it may be the source of your ongoing depressions and struggles, or fear, fear of being with people, fear of talking in public, fear of, anyway, whatever it might be. And you can put that in your mind and your body while you're doing this. It works very well. So, and this is a practice that you can learn from this meditation, what to do. But then you can, once you've learned it, you've integrated it, you can use it with other tracks and other times, without the entrainment, to work on trauma and releasing of these traumatic things that get lodged in our consciousness and releasing it. And they say when you're working through consciousness, when you're really traumatized, it has powerful effects on you. Like it can going back there can induce a panic attack, or can put you into a state of depression, short or long, or it can bring on mania. All kinds of ineffective things. But it's like you're in a 3D movie and you have the goggles on, and it's all very real and very powerful. But once you do the work and you release the trauma, it becomes, you still remember it, but it's like looking at a black and white picture like these here, right? It's not as real, it's not alive. You still remember it, you know what happened, but it doesn't have the impact to hurt you anymore. So that's all very good stuff. Okay, shall we go? And let me get to my thing here. Let's all start at the same time. So this EcoMeditation, Dawson Church guided meditation, deep alpha, 23 minutes and 23 seconds to be precise.
Feel the breath flowing gently in and out of your body. Notice the natural rhythm of your own breathing. And as you observe your breath, imagine it flowing in and out through your heart, with the fingertips of your non-dominant hand. Tap lightly on the side of your dominant hand, right below the joint that anchors your little finger. Imagine all the stress and tension flowing out of your body as you tap on the side of your hand. Imagine stress like a fluid flowing out from the top of your head flowing out through the bottoms of your feet. And as the stress and tension flows out of your body, relax your tongue on the floor of your mouth. As you breathe in and out through your heart. Notice the volume of space inside your feet. Notice the volume of space inside your legs and pelvis. Notice the volume of space
Right. No, it's that. Thank you, Dawson. It's a powerful meditation. Yeah, and the nice thing about these guided meditations is you use them. You can learn the techniques and different things he's suggesting and bring it into your own daily practice, which we all need. And when I practice daily, I do better than when I don't, no matter what's going on. And again, I'm just so programmed, or disciplined myself from years. It's just something I do, no matter what the circumstances are, unless the house is burning down or something like that. But, we're living in, oh, and thank you for your orange shirt, Louis. That made it really easy to focus on something orange. Living in really radical times. And I read the other day that AI is the fastest growing technology in human history, and we've lived through the internet revolution. We've lived through the smartphone revolution. We've lived through when I was a kid, when I lived in Mexico, we didn't have TV. We were way out in southern part of Mexico, out in the jungle, at very isolated mining camps. We didn't have that. And we did fine. Thank you very much. We had lots of space. And, uh, colleague of my father had a ranch, and he would lend us horses to ride whenever could. It was really idyllic. And my two older brothers, and and there was a few kids from other families, but it was very, very rich time. And yeah, lots of jungle, lots of trees, lots of lakes and monkeys, and it's just very rich. But that's different now. And I read recently, and I've quoted this before, but it just really stuck with me, that in the United States, that in average, young African American males do this for 11 hours a day. Wow. And I've learned to discipline myself as to not look at the constantly flashing news and stuff that comes over the phone until I'm ready, which means before I do my practice. I don't wake up and see what emails I got, what text messages, what happened overnight. That doesn't work very well. And it really hurts the quality of my morning practice, which is involves meditation, prayer, study. The Catholics say Lectio Divina. Right? We're studying, anyway, very powerful writings, which are very, they're not just words. They transmit energy. They're spells, if you will, not just words. So, and for example, on YouTube, by the way, I can guarantee you that Louie and I are not robots. Okay, we're actually human beings. And I read the other day that 90% of all of the videos that are on YouTube at this point, and there's some dispute there. Some people said the minimum said 50%, and the maximum said 90%. I think it's above 50%, substantially, that you're not listening to human beings narrate. They don't write the copy. They don't, it's not a human voice. It's a foul or a AI generated human voice. And all the videos and everything, you don't have human beings like, okay, we need to put this here. And that's just drawing from all these sources through the internet of all these different videos and putting it together. Boom. So you can talk to AI and say, I want a video about this, that, and the other, and I want this kind of voice, and kind of talk about this. And they'll put in all that annoying background music, like God, and all the clickbait video names. And what I found it to be, I found it's soul draining. If you get into it, and all these things are meant to get your attention and meant to excite your brain chemistry. They're meant to addict you. And it is kind of, feeds your mind at some level of your mind, and really, okay, yeah. And what's he doing today? And da 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 da. It becomes addictive, but it leaves you in a state of where your soul or your psychic energy has been drained out of your body. So you feel weakened, and you feel tired, and you feel often depressed and exhausted. And I don't know how many people have told me that they're stopping to listen to the news or watch the news or watch all the stuff that's available 24/7. When I was growing up, when we finally had TV and we moved back to the United States, we had the news would come on 5:30 in the evening, and there were some newspapers around. And that's how you got your news, and talking to people. Now it's just constant. And that can really affect your spiritual health, your mental health, in turn, your physical health. So it's very important, and probably the most important commodity that we have right now in the age that we're living in is our attention and where we focus our attention. Because where you focus your attention is where your life is going to go. So if you just get lost in this addictive mental chatter, it's, it's just not good for you. And I'm not saying that YouTube is bad. I think that I've heard somebody said they're making rules now. Either they have to state that it's AI generated or they can't do it anymore. I don't know if they do that, but I think at least I haven't seen the results yet. But it's not, YouTube could be a really gift. I learned to play the guitar, electric lead guitar, when I was 50. I've been playing just regular rhythm guitar for years. Am I too old to start learning to play lead at this point in my life? I always wanted to, but I left home early. I traveled. I had an acoustic guitar. I just didn't focus on that. I was playing and singing for people. And by using all the amazing guitar teachers on YouTube, I progressed really, really quickly. And the answer was yes. At 50 years old, you can pick up a new skill and get really good at it. So, and YouTube was a great tool, but it's really changing now. And everything is changing. In fact, the other day I created a video just, because I'm not the great, even though I have a high-tech company, I'm not the guy that puts it together. I'm more of the visionary or the talking head or something like that. And hopefully I provide leadership. But I'm not that good at it. So I just went on and created a video. And I said, this is what I want. Give me this kind of voice. I don't want any background music. That's really irritating to me. And do it. And just in a few hours, because it takes a time to get it together, had this 10-minute video that was, and the narration about what we're talking was pretty brilliant. It's like, wow, I've never seen it like that. So what does that do to us, and what does it mean to human beings now that artificial intelligence and robots can do what human beings have been doing a lot better, more cheaply and more efficient? And what does education need to be now when you can I use ChatGPT, and you can ask about a historical question or ask about quantum physics, another area I'm interested in, any of the stuff that I like. And I use it for noble, good things, and it's been tremendous. But it's like you can have all of the great minds of history right there combined to answer your questions. And then you can do follow-up questions. And it's an outstanding tool for intellectual and spiritual growth if it's used correctly. If not, I don't know where it's going to go. Any technology, anything that we get our monkey paws onto is going to be used for good or ill. So it's important that we use it for good, because as ChatGPT tells me, that by using it in a noble way and asking questions and going, no, that's not right, you're actually helping to program this in a way that might be more functional. I don't know if that's true, but I try to do that when I'm using this technology. But be careful to take care of your soul, your interior, your relationships, your dog, your flowers, your trees, your neighbors, and don't get just caught up in this powerful, powerful technology that is just changing by the day. There's anything like it. And so we need to be careful. We need to be mindful. I think meditation and interior work has always been essential, but perhaps now it's more essential, if that's possible. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for being here with us and meditating. And this is Dawson Church's EcoMeditation. You can get it on the WeAwake app, and you can download for free wherever you get your apps. And learn it, use it, heal, grow, evolve. And remember, we're working on higher states. We want the goal should not be not states, I'm sorry, stages. We want to get to higher stages in our development, more mature, more compassionate, more wiser, more effective, and not just be chasing highs and excitements and video games. You go through this whole and hours of your life in video games, and you conquer the world and everything. You've done absolutely nothing. It's just brain chemistry telling you to achieve something. It's also addictive. This is not new information. All I'm saying, I'm concerned about the times you live in. I love you guys, and I'm concerned about all of us together. So let's try to surf these waves with skill and wisdom, and be supportive of one another, to not get lost in this stuff, but to continue to strengthen our true nature and our souls, and that part of us that is most deeply human, and where our greatest value lies, in love and kindness and wisdom, compassion, all of these virtues that are part of our true nature. Not something that we have to create, but it's something that we have to rediscover if we've forgotten about it. So oftentimes when we have these breakthroughs, I was like, oh yes, I always knew this, but I forgot, and now I'm coming home. So anyway, that's more than enough. God bless you guys. Louis, thank you for being here with me, and all the rest of you. Share this if you think it's good for people. Let other people know about it. Hit like, sign up, and it'll help us to get out to more people. And what we're here to do is to help. So thank you. Subscribe is the word I was looking for. Anyway, thank you guys.